What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So I think this week we're finally getting to the teams that have had those restricted free agents that I've been waiting on forever. We obviously already did the Warriors one last week, and now we're going to start to talk about the Bulls and then the Sixers, and we still have the Nets and the Hornets to do that have like 10 million players on the roster still, but we're finally getting into some of the teams I haven't done and been waiting on. I also thought to spice this Bulls video up as well, we're going to be talking about a recent report from Jake Fisher that came out over the weekend. So let's go ahead and jump in and do the Chicago Bulls rebuild in NBA 2K25, but of course, with a twist. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs, so if you are new around here, would like to help us reach that goal, that would be absolutely amazing. So, over the weekend, there's a reported interest from the Chicago Bulls and Jonathan Kuminga, and now apparently there's interest from the Warriors in Josh Giddey. This is from Jake Fisher, or at least that's what some of these accounts are saying. I guess I haven't actually looked at Jake Fisher's article myself, but I have to assume with it being tweeted in multiple places that it is indeed true. That is what Jake Fisher is saying. Jake Fisher is hit or miss sometimes. I would say he's more plugged in than, some people, but I definitely know he's had some things wrong in the past. But regardless, I still like Jake Fisher, and this definitely has some smoke behind it, I feel like. So apparently there could be a double sign and trade between the Bulls and the Warriors, with Giddey and Kuminga both being involved, which is kind of interesting. So what I've done is I decided to give Giddey and Kuminga both 4 years, $100 million base salary. Is that what they're going to get in real life? Probably not. And this probably won't happen either, but we're going to do it in today's video anyways to make this interesting. So, Josh Giddey for Jonathan Kuminga, sign and trade. Both teams get it, done, and they solve their issues, I guess. And I don't know. Is it really something that works out for both of them? I have no clue, but apparently that is a recent rumor that we're going to be doing a video on, as I needed to do a Bulls rebuild anyway, so here we are. So now instead of Josh Giddey, you have Jonathan Kuminga instead. And then obviously I would slide Coby White probably to point guard. So we got to fix the rotation quite a bit. But that is going to be kind of the theme of the video. Now, Kuminga is not necessarily like going to be the main priority in this video. It's just basically, instead of rebuilding the Bulls with Josh Giddey like I've always done with them having Giddey lately, instead we'll have Jonathan Kuminga today. And then there was also a recent thing that I read also that the Bulls might try to still get both, which I don't know how true that is. But still, it's all weird. And obviously these restricted free agents are going to be solved eventually. It's just taking forever. So let's go in the rotation for year number one. Kuminga is now a Chicago Bull. Josh Giddey is now on the Warriors. This should make for an interesting video, to say the least. They're currently, as of right now, Parink has us 28th overall, which is, of course, is not too surprising. So here is rotation going into year number one. So we have Coby White, Ayo Dosunmu, Jonathan Kuminga, Matas Buzelis, Nikola Vucevic, Zach Collins, Isaac Okoro, Trey Jones, Jalen Smith, and then we can run 10 deep probably to get, obviously, well, Patrick Williams probably needs to play with how much money he is making, but yeah, so that's going to be done, and of course, I did it incorrectly there, but there definitely needs to be some kind of moves at the deadline as well to kind of figure out what we're going to do with this Bulls roster. Obviously, the Bulls are one of those teams that most people consider kind of lost in the NBA right now. It seems like they just truly don't know what they're doing at the moment. Like, they, of course, went all in on that offseason, got LaVine, Lonzo, DeRozan. It was all exciting. Well, they didn't get them all in the same offseason, but you get what I mean. Like, they went in on that offseason. They were the first seed for a while, and it fell off, and once Lonzo got hurt, and now they haven't really been the same and recovered since. So, we're going to simulate probably to the deadline to make some more moves for this team. Obviously, there's a lot to still figure out when it comes to this Bulls team, but Kuminga is now going to be a part of what we're doing, along with Buzelis, and then whoever else we decide to keep. So, I will see you guys at the trade deadline, probably to sell some more pieces off when we cross that bridge. So we're at the trade deadline. I'm looking to make a move here and trade away Nikola Vucevic, which he's having a pretty good season right now. 15 points per game, 9 rebounds. We're extremely mid, just like the Bulls are in real life. And we got Harrison Barnes and a first-round pick being offered to us via Atlanta in 2027. More than likely, this pick won't end up being good because Atlanta is usually pretty good in the 2K sim. But regardless, we're getting a first-rounder for Vucevic. The Spurs get themselves another big to put next to Wemby. So I like that for them. We get Barnes expiring, and that's a done deal for us. So the only other thing to figure out now is to see how much Coby White's asking for, and Collins and all these other guys. So we're going to look. I had to sneeze very quickly, but we're going to look to re-sign Coby White probably long term. So just like Jonathan Kuminga got, I think I'm okay with giving him $25 million a year if he would take that, but it looks like he might have an issue with taking that. So I guess we'll just sign him with the bird rights, and $25 million being offered. He has accepted it. Okay. And then Zach Collins, I don't actually hate him for depth going forward. I wouldn't like him to be my starting center, but Backup 5 making like 8, $9 million a year. I don't hate that. So I'm going to go ahead and offer that to him as well. Ayosumo, same thing. If we can get him locked up, I think that's fine. So we are handing out a lot of contracts, some of the guys we already have. But I do have a plan in mind. Kevin Huerter probably won't look to resign, where we haven't really used him in the rotation anyway. So now Zach Collins is going to become the starting center for the rest of the season, with obviously Vucevic gone. But now you have Kobe White, Dosunmu still same starting 5, other than you have Patrick Williams starting over Buzelis now. But I need Buzelis to blossom extremely well in this rebuild if we're going to be successful. So we're going to still play him as the starter, and that will be our rotation for the rest of the season. And then of course, eventually Noah Sengay is going to get some minutes next year as well. So we're 24 and 27, as I mentioned, extremely mid, exactly where the Bulls belong right now. But we'll see if we continue to hold on with Vucevic gone. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. Preferably, I'd like a lottery pick instead, but it looks like we might end up making the playoffs. So at the end of year number 1, Shea wins MVP, Flag is Rookie of the Year, Giddey is your 6th man in Golden State, which makes sense. Wemby's your DPOY, most improved goes to Trace Jackson Davis, and Cam Thomas is your clutch player, and Key Atkinson is your Coach of the Year. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. Obviously, no Bulls to be expected here. I was not really expecting to see that. And then Noah Sengay didn't play for us this year, even though I maybe should have gotten involved. Unfortunately, I did not. But we do have the 6th seed in the East, which is kind of unfortunate. As I said, guys, I'd rather be a lottery team, but instead, in the East being so weak, we went 38 and 44 and made the playoffs. So that's where we're at right now. So if we take a look at the player stats, you had 17 from Kobe White, 14 from Kuminga, 13 from Zach Collins, 10 from Buzelis, and 10 from Isaac Okoro. I'm definitely looking for a third-year breakout from Buzelis. First couple seasons only averaging 8 and 10, but I think ideally in the 3rd season we move him up to a higher shot tendency, and then he can kind of take over potentially of this franchise. That's kind of what I'm hoping for in this rebuild, which is why I did extend some of these smaller contracts, because I'm basically banking on Buzelis becoming our superstar, and we'll have to see if that ends up working out or not. But we get Atlanta in round 1, which, funny enough, we got their draft pick in 2027 at the trade deadline. So I fully expect to get beat here, but we'll give it our best shot. Somebody, well, let's also go to a 9-man rotation, of course, and see if we can put up a fight against this Atlanta roster. So we are going to win one game, I should say, but that's it. So we had the Cavs and the Hawks, and then you have the Hawks and the Clippers, and the Hawks going to win it all. They beat the Clippers in 5 games and win a championship. So LeBron's going to call it, and here are the rest of your retirements. But let's go to the lottery, even though we don't have a lottery pick. We're instead going to have a late first or a middle of the pack first. It does say with Portland's pick, but obviously most of us are aware that that pick will not convey, because the Blazers are lottery protected for a while. The Hornets have number 1, Lakers 2, which is pretty crazy. And then we get to pick at literally 8 or 17. So yeah, basically in purgatory. We're still stuck in the middle. Not good enough to or not bad enough to have a high draft pick, but also not good enough to be a contender. So we got to dig ourselves out of that, and maybe I'll put ourselves in a bigger hole by extending everybody, but I have a plan. All right, so we have the 17th pick, and that's it. And we have a couple of other teams' future picks, which is nice, that we can maybe use eventually. But I think what I would like to do is trade 17 and get off Patrick Williams' contract. He's just not been a good player in real life. In 2K, he's actually usually a decent player, which is why I wouldn't mind keeping him, and I usually do in these Bulls rebuilds. But I think in this scenario, I think I'd rather try to get off his salary if I can. So we're going to see if we can find a way to trade down from 17 and get, like, I don't know, like a later first. Let's see if anybody bites at the idea of that. So that was dead before it even started, because I literally found nothing. So instead, we'll just drop to a 17, which is totally fine too. Maybe I was overthinking the idea that I had in mind. So Mikael Brown definitely sticks out here at the top of the board for sure. Probably going to be the guy I end up having to take here. If we're going to have someone blossom into something, I think Mikael Brown makes a ton of sense right now. So I am going to go ahead and draft Mikael Brown in Louisville with pick 17. Makes a ton of sense. And he's going to be a 75 overall right away. Going to look to play him immediately if I can. But I do feel good about that pick. So Dalen Terry, I'm also going to go ahead and decline. I don't think I'll be keeping him around. And then for free agency, we have Huerter, we have Dalen Terry, we have Harrison Barnes, but no plans to keep basically any of them. So Kobe White, and then now Trey Jones. I think I might look to trade Trey Jones based off getting Mikael Brown and wanting him to get minutes right away. Still, our starting shooting guard spot's a little questionable, but of course, Kobe White could slide there if Mikael Brown develops enough. I mean, we could start Mikael Brown in year 1 if we really wanted to. Would not hate doing that necessarily, because I could slide Kobe White to the 2 and have Mikael Brown start and Dosunmu goes to the bench. Actually, it might be the better play and just keep Trey Jones here, so I might actually do that. And we got Kuminga and Okoro still, which is fine. Buzelis, Patrick Williams, which I wanted to trade Patrick Williams mainly because I wanted to get his in-game minutes as well. But maybe we put him in over Isaac Okoro. We'll figure something out. In our center rotation, it's nothing to be happy about right now, but that's just kind of where we're at. And as far as like signing anybody, well, yes, we could sign like a Keon Ellis or something. I think I'm actually cool with just kind of going into the season with the team we currently have, even though obviously this is the epitome of mid still. It's just slowly, hoping for guys to develop. So don't think I'll be bringing anybody back. I just want to let everyone walk basically. So no one is to come back. And then I want to see what a year 3, fully high shots and see Buzelis would do with this team is basically my hope. And then how much is this Sengay going to develop and all that. So Sengay definitely needs to get involved this year. 79 overall. Probably will play over Isaac Okoro. I doubt Okoro would go be traded for much right now. Since Patrick Williams' contract is going to be hard to get off of. Would anybody want to take Isaac Okoro at all? So Sam Merrill in a first. I don't think the Cavs would do that. Kyle Anderson in a first round pick that's probably a little rich. I'd be fine with just dumping him for some seconds, basically. I just want him off the team. That way the rotation is a little bit more cleaner. But I don't know if we can do that. So maybe he just doesn't play at all for us and we'll, deal with it later. So let's go ahead, get into the season. His expiring contract, he'll be gone after this. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to start Mikael Brown and Kobe White. We'll have, Kuminga and obviously Sengay getting minutes. Buzelis still getting minutes. So this will, and then center needs to be figured out eventually. But eventually this roster is going to shape up the way I want it to be. But I want to see what a year 3 Buzelis can do with a high shot tendency. So here we are at the shot tendency, and as I told you guys, we're going to give Buzelis the keys to this potential season to become great. So he's going to have a 94 to 90. Kobe White's still decently high. I like Kuminga's maybe to come down just a tad bit, basically. And then Mikael Brown's as a rookie, who he will start as a 75 and an 85, which I guess I'm okay with that. So this is what it's going to look like. We have Mikael Brown, 29 minutes at the point guard spot. Kobe White at the 2. Kuminga at the 3 with Buzelis, Zach Collins at the 5, Noah Sengay, Adasumu, Patrick Williams, Okoro, and Trey Jones. So the end of our bench will be kind of cut at the end of the season, obviously, with Okoro and Trey Jones both being expirings. I assume Trey Jones will decline that player option, but I guess there's a chance that he, does something different with it. As far as salary is concerned, the main thing we have to worry about, of course, is our starting center situation right now. It's not great. So maybe at the trade deadline, we trade for a starting 5. It kind of depends on how this team is doing. But I'm very curious to see what Buzelis does with a very high shot tendency for this season. Hopefully the team ends up being decent and we can kind of justify maybe making an aggressive move for a starting 5. But we'll have to see what we're looking like come trade deadline. So at the end of year 2, I decided not to make any moves at the trade deadline because we were trending towards the lottery and that's what I wanted to see. But of course, we almost made it into the play-in tournament. We were like the 13th seed and we go from like the 13th to like 10th and then we get 11th. But Buzelis does win most improved player, which is a great sign. Obviously what I wanted to see, 21 and 7. Efficiency could be a little bit better, but that's not horrible. Luka's your clutch player and Kid is your coach of the year. So we're basically unlocking what I was looking to unlock, and that is what I wanted to see out of our boy. And then all rookie first team goes to Mikael Brown, which of course he is going to develop as well. Averaged 11 in his rookie season. So we could have been in a good spot going into next season. So we barely missed out on the playoffs. And here are your player stats. You had 21 from Buzelis, 19 from Kobe White, 12 from Zach Collins, 12 from Kuminga, and then 11 from Mikael Brown, 9 and 8 from Noah Sengay, 9 and 2 from Dasumu, and 7 and 3 from Patrick Williams. So gonna be a lot of movement this offseason if I had to guess. We need to get a starting center in here. Might even clear the way for Noah Sengay to start. So as I told you guys in the beginning, we're not committed to Jonathan Kuminga. I am totally fine with moving him if I need to. Charlotte Hornets beat the Spurs in 4 games. And we got, here are your retirements. Damian Lillard is going to retire a Blazer, which I love to see. Let's go ahead. Let's go see what this lottery is going to look like. So we are projected number 8, number 6. So again, like I said earlier, that Blazers pick will not be going to us. Let's see if our 5% chance to jump up into the top 4 works. So our guess getting the number 1 overall pick. And oh my gosh, that's heartbreaking. So the Blazers get number 1 and it says it's us, but it's not in reality. That is a lot of protected pick in real life. So unfortunately, we do not actually get that pick. Instead, we'll be picking number 8. So I get to send this pick back to the Blazers. And man, am I disappointed because having the number 1 pick would have been nice. Honestly, this draft class is a little bit weak as we're all aware, but still having that would have been really cool. So it is a little confusing on what the Bulls get in 2028 because the Bucks are now involved, but I guess for this scenario, we're just going to go ahead and take a second off of them. So Trey Jones is going to be a free agent, but let's go pick a number 8. The main thing we need to acquire, I think, is a starting center. But one thing we can also look to do is because I don't know if we'll get a starting center on draft night. We could go look, but don't think there's going to be kind of any that stick out to me. Like we could draft, yeah, there really is. I mean, we could draft like a 6'10 guy and, you know, play them at the whatever center. But I think if we could find a way to, you know, get our center on draft night, that would be the most ideal thing we could do right now. So the thing I'm going to try to work out a trade with the Chicago Bulls where we trade pick number 8 and Jonathan Kuminga for pick 17 and Walker Kessler. And then if we can find a way to maybe get Never Nicing off of them as well, I think that'd be fun or really cool with that. So Kessler would be our new starting center, and I think he'd fit fairly well. So let's go ahead and see if we can get him or get them to agree to this, and they do agree. So we're going to be trading a highlighter pick, as I mentioned. This is a weaker draft class, but now we have 3 firsts. So in theory, we could, you know, package these 3 firsts and trade up again, which we may look to do with another team. But we get off Kuminga, and now we have Walker Kessler as our brand new starting center, and Zach Collins to back him up going forward. So I like that a lot. That is figured out. That is settled. Now we have Buzelos and Patrick Williams, and now, of course, Noah Sengay is going to start at that 3, which I'm totally on board with. So I like that first move, and now I want to see if I can package maybe these picks to move up at all. So let's go pick, whoops, on the wrong thing. Let's go ahead and see if we can package like 16 and 19, and maybe let's see if we get like up to number 10 via, or that's second rounder, not that. Would the Warriors give us pick 11? Well, that might be a little too low. Let's shoot for a little bit higher fairly quickly. So let's go like number 9 maybe. Can anybody, so like the Pistons, would they give me, not quite, but if I threw you 26 as well, they do agree. So we're going to package all of that and get up to number 9. So we just had the 8th overall pick, and yeah, that was some devious work, but it is done now, and now we can go draft at number 9. So number 1 is going to be Brandon McCoy to Portland. Number 2 is going to be Tyron Stokes to Houston. Mika is going to go 3 to the Utah Jazz. Caleb Holt to Washington. Hugo goes to Denver, and then Utah gets to pick again because of us. Dylan Mingo, and then we get to pick right behind them. So Savan Kita out of Spain. Never heard of him, but that's who they go with. We have Christian Collins, Jackson Richardson, 6'7" guy, or Caleb Gaskins. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Caleb Gaskins here. So Caleb Gaskins is going to be the pick, and that will be a nice, wait, Caleb Holt already went. I was about to say. So only a 75 overall, but still somebody I'd like to develop in the background. And then Trey Jones declines, as Sengay, of course, will accept. And then one thing I forgot to show you guys is I did extend Buzelos as well. So basically the sweet spot for this team so far is giving everybody like $25 million annually. I will say, of course, that obviously Walker Kessler's making more than that, but still we had the money to afford it. So Buzelos $25 million is what I gave him. Obviously, Kobe White was making that for us going forward. Well, it's going to start to ascend, but yeah, basically that's been kind of the sweet spot. Okay. So now we can move Idosumu probably to point guard to have him as the backup. Sengay will be the 3, and then we just need to sign a forward, and we're good. So we could sign a good one as well. So like Michael Porter Jr. off the bench immediately kind of stuck out to me as like a floor spacer for this team. So I'm going to go ahead and give Michael Porter Jr. a 4-year deal, $12 million a year. Sign me up for that if he'll take that. I'm absolutely on board with that. A 6'10 shooter off the bench. Totally cool with that. So that is what we need, and I think this team can make some noise next year, in theory, as long as, of course, we have Buzelos take another jump and Mikael Brown take another jump, which I do expect. And we just acquired a starting center, so I like that a lot. So let's go to player progression, and let's see how much guys are developing. Sengay could make a big jump, too, here as well. So let's see. So, Sengay did not move, 80 overall this time. Patrick Williams, 78. You do have Mikael Brown up to an 80, and Buzelos up to an 85. And then Michael Porter Jr. is only an 83. So we'll have to see. You know, I think there's a chance that Sengay can still make an impact, but not quite the development I thought we'd see out of him yet. But maybe next year it's a big jump. We'll see. So I don't expect to win a championship next year, but I do like the direction we're going in. And let's go see if we can be a team that makes the playoffs. We feel good about it, and we're going to be over 500 in doing so as well. So let's see if that works out or not. So this will be the starting 5 going into the season. So this will be Mikael Brown, Kobe White, Michael Porter Jr., Buzelos, Kessler, Sengay, Zach Collins, Idosumu, and Patrick Williams. So I will say that 2K isn't the highest on our team still. Pyrank has its 27th overall, but I feel good about where we're at. We have Buzelos still having a high shot tendency. Mikael Brown, I mean, we could push this up maybe just a tad bit more as well. Kobe White shot tendency is still at 74, which I feel decent about. So I think this team can make the playoffs. I mean, we've been making the playoffs with what we were looking like, and we just added Kessler and MPJ here. So I do like the idea that this team could make it, but we'll have to see if that works out that way. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. Off to a good start, but we'll have to see what we look like at the end of this season. The Wemby wins MVP. Mika is Rookie of the Year. Brandon Miller is your sixth man. Wemby's your depoy as well. Boozer is your most improved. LaMelo is your clutch player. And Owen Taylor is your Coach of the Year. And Nicholas is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. So no Buzelis or anything like that. But the one thing I wanted to see this year, we did accomplish. We made the playoffs as a convincing positive over 500 team. 44-38. Now, I can't sit here and say that we're a contender in the East or anything just yet, but it's still a great sign that we made the playoffs without being under 500, right? Like, the East has been weak in this video, but finally starting to maybe make some progress here. So offensive rating, I mean, we're probably middle of the pack if I had to guess. Quite low, actually. Wow, we were 26 on offense, so not great. So maybe we still need, maybe it's just all, but our defense was top 10, so I guess we'd feel good about that. So let's take a look at the stats as well as player stats. So this is what the player stats were looking like. We had 20 from Buzelis, 18 from Kobe White, 17 from Mikael Brown with 8 assists, 13 from Michael Porter Jr., 11 from Noah Singay with 7 rebounds, and 10 and 6 from Zach Collins, 9 and 12 from Kessler. One thing I did change also, by the way, is that MPJ was starting, but I put Singay into the starting 5, so he's actually starting. I will say that you can make an argument for Porter starting because of his floor spacing. Buzelis, though, is an improved shooter this year at 36%, so at least we have that. But all right, so we get to play the Toronto, or no, it's the Pistons in round 1, so let's go see how we do against them. So game 1 is going to go to us, 132-98. Actually, a good start. 31 for Buzelis, 17 and 14 for Mikael Brown. Game 2, wow, we take both games in Detroit. So far, so good. 24 from Singay, 4-7 from 3. Do we continue that as well? We're up 3-0, just like that. 40 from Buzelis. We sweep the Pistons, and we do. Wow, okay. Great season. I would say that's a successful season. And the Pacers also get beat in 5. So, and then, wow, every high seed lost so far. And kind of convincingly, 6 games in Toronto and Cleveland. Atlanta beats the Hornets in 5. We beat the Pistons in 4. And then the Knicks beat the Pacers in 5. Very weird. And on the other side, it's totally opposite. Every high seed won their series. That's crazy. What is going on? I have no idea. But we get the Knicks. So the Knicks have Brunson and McCollum. Okay. OG, Josh Hart, Carney Towns, Mikal Bridges, Pacome Dadier, Jalen Smith, and Chris Dunn. So game 1 is going to go to us. We do get home court advantage here as well. 33 from Buzelis, 23 from Dosunmu, 19 and 7 from Mikael Brown. Game 2, 2-0. So far, so good. This is looking really good. I don't know what's going on, but we might... Are we going to lose a game? Are we going to even lose a game here? What is going on? Okay, we do lose the game. Okay, we beat them in 5. And just like that, we're in the conference finals. Did not really expect that this year, to be honest with you, but here we are. So we play the Toronto Raptors after all of that. So let's go see if we have what it takes to get to the finals already. So Malachi Branham's there now. They got Pelle Larson. Man, this should be interesting. Game 1 is going to go to West, 112-92. So we take another game on the road in a game 1. And they do even it up. So let's go. So this is starting to feel real. Like, I think we could maybe actually get to the finals this year. So let's start to Simcast and take this seriously. So we do have the lead right now. As long as they don't get back in it, we are going to take game 3. So we're up 2-1 right now. Do we go 3-1? No, it's a tie series. Okay. So we're back in Toronto on the road. We did take game 1. So let's see if we can take game 5 on the road as well. It's looking not as good this time. So it looks like we are going to lose game 5 and go down 3-2. So we do slowly try to make a comeback there, but ultimately was not going to happen. All right, this to force a game 7 back to Toronto so we can go back to Canada and play them, but it looks like they may have the advantage here unless we get back in it at the end, and we slowly did, but not really. So, but the thing is, we already made it to the conference finals. The Mavericks beat the Raptors in 4, so I don't know if we would have beat the Dallas Mavericks, but still, we have to feel good that we were competitive enough in the East to get as far as we did. So, yeah, great start. And then we have to hope for, obviously, a Singay, Buzelis. We have the 18th pick now. We have to hope these guys just continue to keep developing. Billy Donovan also gone. I think he's earned his job back, right? I feel like we got to keep it going with him after we just made it to the conference finals. So on draft night, we have a, middle of the teens pick, 18. So let's go see what we get with that. So at pick 18, we have Ryan Hampton, and then we have like Davion Thompson at shooting guard, 6'5". Marty Barnes. I don't know much about these guys, honestly. I will take Malachi Jordan, though, with the Hall of Fame ceiling, and I'll let the assistant GM take care of the second rounder. So we got a 72 overall, and we got Patrick Williams accepting his player option, which makes sense. And then here's the rest of your free agents. Okay. Don't think we have anybody important as a free agent. We're probably in a spot where we can just run this bad boy back. We could sign another player as well, but kind of locked into what we have right now. So let's just go to player progression. After we just made it to the conference finals, I have to hope Mikael Brown, whoops, I almost dropped a controller. I have to hope Mikael Brown and Asenge are about to just bloom. I don't know if I will get that lucky, but that would be great if we saw that right now. So Asenge up to an 84 overall. Could be better, but hey, 84 will still take. Porter is down 1 overall. Gaskins is now ready to join the rotation, probably over Patch Williams. Maybe even move him to the 3, develop him more, but I like this. I think we're in a spot that maybe this team could go win it all next year. Rosales is becoming our #1 scorer. Mikael Brown's becoming the 2nd guy. And Asenge is slowly developing as well. So let's go see if year number 4 has a championship in order for us. I think it's possible. We'll have to see. So at the end of this season, Cooper Flagg wins MVP, and Dallas, Hugo is your Rookie of the Year. Murray is your 6-man. Wemby's your DPOY. Stokes your most improved. Booker's your clutch player, and Kidd is your coach of the year, and Hobson is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. So unfortunately, we're not going to get a Bulls representative here, but maybe, yeah, we do get our all-defensive second team from Kessler, so we'll take that. And here's our all-rookie first team and all-rookie second team. So we end up as the first seed in the East, which is what I kind of anticipated this year. We have Buzeos with 23, 20 from Mikael Brown, 16 from Kobe White, 13 and 9 from Noah Senge, 12 from Michael Porter, and 9 from Dosunmu, 8 from Kessler with 12 rebounds, and 8 from Caleb Gaskins, who got involved this year as well. And if we look at the team stats, we know last year offensively we weren't too good, but it looks like we did take a jump, as we're going to be maybe like, yeah, number 10. So that's still top 10, and we were #1 defensive. So we'll take that, and let's go take a look to see if we could beat the Knicks in round 1, which we did beat them last year, if I remember correctly. So yeah, let's go see if we can do it. So game 1 is going to go to us, 124 to 109. 21 from Noah Senge in that game. Game 2, 2-0. Game 3, 3-0. So far, so good, and we sweep the Knicks. Okay. Now to play the Miami Heat, who we did not match up against last year. They have Hero, Chloe, Bam Adebayo, Dame Sarr's there now. Yaka Chonas is there, Wiggins, Colin Murray-Boyles. All right. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. They beat us by 1, but we get game 3. And now it's a 2-2 game. Okay, so Miami, which has been the bane of, I believe, Bulls fans' existence when it comes to the playoffs. So that's kind of what's happening right now again. But hopefully we are going to hang on to game 5, but we let it go. We let it slip through our fingers. So are the Miami Heat going to do what they've been doing to this franchise? Let's see. So 3-2. Let's go see if we can't force a game 7 to come back to Chicago, or are we going to get dethroned in the second round here to not, well, we didn't get out of the East last year. But no, the Miami Heat have our number, 113 and 123. So we lose in 6. So the Hawks go on, and the Mavericks again go on to win it all. So I think we got to give this one last chance, obviously. The main thing to hope for here is that we could, eventually hopefully get a chance against whoever represents the West, more than likely, of course, being the Mavericks. So Billy Donovan, is it time to let him go and go for somebody different? I think so. That's going to be the first move. So we'll fire Billy Donovan after, plateauing, I guess. We'll go for Missoula. We'll go for Nick Nurse, get all the best candidates we possibly can, and we'll go for, I'm hoping to get one of those guys, and of course, neither one of them are going to accept our offer. So that failed quickly. So now we're staring at the idea of McDaniel. McDaniel might be our best bet. Kyle McDaniel might be the guy. So we'll go for him. 5-star offense. We'll see if that changes anything. We'll go past draft since it's a late pick at this point. So we got Mitch Williams, welcome, and then we'll accept basically these two, of course. And then qualifying offers, Noah Senge. The thing we also have is more development coming. Patch Williams, at this point, he only wants $8 million. So, yeah, we could definitely get behind that. It'd be nice if Cooper Flagg also left the Mavericks, even though we haven't to play them yet. But I'm going to give Senge his contract. So, that's going to be done. Is there any moves we want to make? Like, the only thing I could think we could probably do is upgrade our backup 5 spot. But I don't really know how much that improves us. So, Zach Collins is making not much. And then we could throw, I guess, Mitch Williams, who we just drafted, at the wall and see. That gets us a better backup center. Like Capella, I guess, is a overall upgrade, technically. So we could do that. I won't even take the first off of them. Just let me do that, and boom. We'll do something like that just for the upgrade. So 35-year-old Clint Capella, who may even regress to where Zach Collins was based off his age. But let's go to play progression and let's see if this next season will be any different. So let's see. We have so it looks like a Senge is up to an 86, Capella is down to an 81, Gaskin's up to an 83, so that's good to see as well. And then Bazelis is not going to develop even further at all either. So this is it. Last chance to go win it all. So let's go see if we have what it takes to win this thing in year number 5. Last chance to get a championship for this Bulls franchise. First seed in the East once again. Here were your player stats. You had 25 from Bazelis, 23 from Mikael Brown, 16 and 9 from Noah Senge, 14 from Caleb Gaskins, 13 from Kobe White, 9 from Michael Porter, 8 from Capella, and 8 from Walker Kessler. Again, team stats looked good last year, so I have to assume, you know, similar stuff. Third offense and defensively, maybe even number 5. Okay, so I was saying maybe number 1, but no, not quite. So Indiana Pacers in round 1, they have Halbert, Nimhard, Carter Bryant, Jaden, and then their starting center position. Wow, they're a very good team for an 8th seed. I won't lie. I'm actually a little intimidated by what I'm seeing right now. So let's see, man. Somebody occur around, or actually go game by game here. So we win 1-0. We're up 2-0. We were able to get out of round 1 last year, but the Pacers may give us some problems. Maybe. Let's try to avoid a game 7, and then Atlanta is awaiting us if we do get to play the Hawks, which the Hawks always scare me as well. But can we win on the road and avoid a game 7 at all costs, or the Pacers going to force us in a game 7, and then it's all bets are off there. Oh boy, game 7's happening. We just had a chance to close the series, and now we're going to a game 7. All right, well, we're going to go aim in rotation and get desperate here. So aim in rotation, game 7 at home in Chicago. This is to get out of literally just round 1 right now. So let's see if we can do just that. Looking good at the moment. As long as we don't blow it, we get out of round 1. So that was a little, you know, terrifying and scary, but we get out of round 1, and now we get to play the Atlanta Hawks. So Atlanta's got Ryan Rollins, Daniels, Riche, Jalen, Alex, Yabusele, Okongwu, and Herb Jones. So game 1 is going to go to Atlanta. Game 2 is going to go to us. So we do get 1 game at home, and we get 1 on the road as well. Can we get 2 on the road? Yes, we can. Can we beat them in 5? Yes, we can. Okay. Now for Orlando, you got OKC and Minnesota on the other side, so no Dallas to deal with if we're able to get past the Magic, which the Magic, of course, wow, they draft. Oh, okay. A little terrified here. This is a damn good pick for them to plug in that weak spot their roster at the starting center position. Damn, yeah, this is a good team. We are in trouble, I will say. Orlando looks pretty terrifying right now. Game 1 goes to us, though. Game 2 goes to us. This is looking good. Wow, I thought Magic were going to give us some problems, but we just sweep them. Okay, so Indiana is going to be the team that takes us to 7, although they looked good too. But all right, we got Minnesota, and it's going to be OKC Minnesota going to only 6. Ace Bailey ended up in Minnesota. You got Ace Bailey and Edwards teamed up together on the Timberwolves. Okay, well, this to win it off with a championship. Game 1 does go to Minnesota. Damn, they win both games. Okay, can we even it up, though? No, down 3-1. Okay, we're in trouble. We got to come back 3-1 to get back in this and win a championship. So can we win 1 game at a time? Just win this one. That's all I'm asking for right now. Just win this one. We had it. We literally had it. We had that game. We let it go. So we're going to lose in 5 and ultimately end off this video without a ring. So we lose in 5, and that's going to be it for me. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Will the Bulls eventually come to terms with Josh Giddey, or is there going to be a crazy out of left field Kuminga and Josh Giddey trade swap? Was that trade in the beginning really necessary? Probably not, to be honest with you. But I guess it just made this video a touch more interesting. Not really at the same time. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed it. 2K26 still waiting around the corner. I believe we get 2K26 news for my NBA next week. So definitely going to take a look at that when that comes out. I'm not expecting anything crazy. Just don't break the mode. That's all I'm asking for. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.